For those that are in the States, happy Labor Day. If you had off, I hope this week has been full of good times for you. I know that I've been slacking a little bit on the video side because the last few days have been pretty unforgiving in how busy they've been. So apologies there, but today I wanted to come back and discuss a few things. Firstly, Black Ops Cold War multiplayer, some secret packages that have gone around, what it may mean, and perhaps even how it connects to Warzone. Now, there's a lot to discuss here in a sort of video back, so that said, let me know your thoughts down below. Are you looking forward to the Black Ops Cold War multiplayer reveal later this week? And if there is anything in particular that you're expecting or hoping to see out of that reveal, let me know in the comments below. But as well, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button to stay today with all things Black Ops Cold War, Warzone, and all things Call of Duty related as we round into what's sure to be a huge week ahead. But said, let's get into it. First things first, I can finally spill the beans. I did play Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War's multiplayer. I know that plenty of you had probably seen that leaked footage. I know I saw a ton of comments to which I literally could not respond to those, that you saw that pre-roll notification from the leaked gameplay that said Espresso connected, or perhaps maybe even saw me in the match leaderboards there at that, to which, yes, that was me. I can finally confirm that. I'd like to say sorry for hiding it, but literally I couldn't talk about it from a legal standpoint. I'd always love to tell you about everything as soon as it happens, but for things like my thoughts, I can't detail anything gameplay related until Wednesday, but even that acknowledgement was under NDA until earlier today. So unfortunately, I couldn't confirm or deny any of that. I know that it kind of led to a lot of comments in the videos in the past couple of days, but yes, I did play Black Ops Cold War's multiplayer. But like I said, I can tell you my impressions, breakdowns of systems, weapons, maps, and all that on Wednesday, but I can't tell you anything up front right now other than simply I played. For literally all of what we just described though, again, make sure you stick it here on the channel, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already, be around the channel around 1:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday. That's 10:15 on the Pacific end, and also I believe 6:15 in the evening for those of you guys over in the UK. But I do think I also have another announcement that is embargoed until tomorrow. I have to check on that one, but for the time being, make sure you set some reminders. It's likely going to be at least a double upload day and starting earlier in the day rather than later in the evening like our uploads usually are. But also, it's very likely it's a triple upload day because we've got a lot to discuss, and I'm incredibly excited to share what I've learned with you guys. But if you have anything particular also that you'd like to know, full transparency, I'm actually still working on putting together those videos for Wednesday, so that schedule of releases is not set in stone. So if there's anything that you really want to know about, drop me a comment here on this video. I'll see if we can tie in some of the answers in any capacity, or hell, maybe it's even something that turns into a full-fledged video explaining certain aspects of the game. But anyways, coming back to that, I want to wrap that part up by saying thank you guys for the continued support over the years. To be able to do this sort of stuff is an honor and a privilege, and I'm humbled that you guys continue to support what I do, and I'm forever grateful for that. So thank you for the support to allow us as a community to have these opportunities. Final reiterations, sorry I couldn't answer any of those comments of, we know you played at Espresso, we saw you. I was under NDA, couldn't discuss it, couldn't disclose anything as the paperwork and NDA actually suggest, but I'm excited to say that I will have some footage on Wednesday, and you can stick it here for all things Black Ops Cold War. The next thing I want to talk about comes down to something that was also interesting out of today, something developed throughout the day as well. It was embargoed again earlier in the afternoon, but from what I know, one of these seems to be making its way over to my desk, but FedEx decided to take their sweet old time. So for the time being, my good friend Corey, your ink slasher, lent me some images that we can talk about, some things to discuss here about what's going to be coming out here to other creators and other press in the next couple of days, it seems. But packages from Activision, Call of Duty, Treyarch, Raven, they seem to be coming in which they give us, firstly, an old-timey postmarked package from what is listed as the Department of Defense. There's a postcard with woods in it that says propaganda, a notebook from that said Department of Defense, and the most interesting part to me is a card that looks to hold nuclear information. Now, admittedly, the first two items really aren't that important. They're a notepad and a postcard. Some stuff you can practically use sure to take notes with that notebook, but the postcard, I'm not entirely sure who you'd send that to. But the card with the nuclear information, that's the interesting part. This card with a globe icon on it has inscripted in the envelope, authorized personnel only, with a notice of sensitive information written on it with a subscript of CAA:UW538_99:2236. The only other insignia on that is the radioactive icon in the bottom right. So right off the rip, that's pretty interesting to me. Now, if you Google that CAA:UW538:99:2236, you don't get anything of significance. You'll see stuff relating to other screenshots of these cards, but it doesn't seem like it has any historical relevance at the moment, anything that really can point us in a different direction. We saw those Zork puzzles coming out where that's a literal puzzle. It doesn't seem to be anything like that where it sends you on a wild goose chase here, or at least to find the next step here for it. Unless I'm missing something glaring, it seems to be arbitrary at the moment. But once you open up that card, you look inside, that's where it gets really interesting, because on the card, in that little envelope sleeve, there's a larger globe icon again, but with numbers above it. The card has a bit of redacted information, but the interesting thing to me is that in the upper right corner is the description of nuclear warhead launch code. I'm sorry, what was that? So before we get ahead of ourselves, I feel like we should probably examine this in a little bit more of an objective manner. The card also contains information including the mass, in which that's redacted, the length, in which it says it's 15 feet 10 inches with tail fairing and 14 feet flat without. It gives the description for diameter, but that's redacted as well. And it also gives warhead specifications, in which it confirms that it's once again a nuclear warhead, but with a blast yield of 17 kilotons with a fission-based payload and 210 kiloton yield with fusion-based payloads. So that is something that is insanely detailed, firstly, but what in the world could this be for? There are two glaring ways that I think that we could see this end up panning out. Firstly, we saw that our campaign trailer for the Black Ops Cold War, we got our characters going into a Soviet base that looked to be massive, where it could easily be a stronghold for production of a nuclear warhead. And entirely on brand also with the whole of the Cold War, with the fear of nuclear war at a global scale. So it's entirely possible this is 100% story related, tying in the era, and there's nothing really more to it, just being something that hints at, again, kind of the universe of the Cold War and Black Ops Cold War. But here's the thing, and I don't necessarily believe that, or perhaps it's not me wanting to believe that, because my objection is this: why would we be getting story information from the campaign in the week leading up to the multiplayer reveal? The storyline, while will still be unfolding a little bit more as time progresses, sure, has already kind of had its sort of limelight introduction, where we get the basic gist of what's going to be happening, and I think highlighting that storyline right now could undercut the highlight of the multiplayer debut that will be coming later this week. A part of me wants to believe this is for Warzone, because from what's rumored, there are still 1 or 2 more events still to come within Warzone up until the launch of Black Ops Cold War, and we've had all these signs pointing towards a nuclear warhead, and perhaps even an event dealing with that nuclear warhead of some kind. It's been building up and building up all the way since the launch of Warzone back in March. Now, I can't stress how awesome this would be if these teasers are something related to the Nuke event. Right now, I think from what is rumored, it's looking like an end of Season 6 thing where the nuke goes off, and perhaps because the timetables are so close to the end of Season 6 with the launch of Black Ops Cold War, maybe that is theoretically then when that map transforms into the Black Ops Cold War Warzone map. Perhaps that's where then we maybe go back in time to the Cold War if the universes are the same, and they don't necessarily just level the map and just be like, okay, this is the new map now, here with this. Either way though, I think it'd be insane, and I'd lose my mind if that's actually what happens, and perhaps this is even a part of that. Right now, I just don't think there's enough known to yet really give it any true clarity. One thing to note is that all of these cards, from what I have seen so far, are the same launch codes. So that could be something, but also it could be nothing. Perhaps again, if it is story related, maybe it's almost arbitrary at this point. Maybe that is just saying, okay, there's a nuke in the Black Ops Cold War universe. But perhaps if it's something related to Warzone, perhaps that's a keypad or launch code that's actually usable and interactable at some later point. But again, right now, we just don't know at the time being. I do think that it'd be cool though to see another event like the Black Ops Cold War reveal Know Your History event, but perhaps for MP. I mean, imagine if Treyarch introduces a nuke streak for the first time in their mainline game's history, rather than just that nuclear metal that we've had the last couple of introductions. And perhaps given the fact that Raven had such a hand in development, maybe that's actually possible. Who knows? We saw that some social teasers were teasing map locations, we're also teasing some streaks as of today, so maybe this is something that ties into that. Maybe it is a nuke for the multiplayer. Who knows? But again, that's just something that time will tell, but again, is incredibly interesting to me. So many questions, not enough answers, but the coming days should hopefully provide a little more clarity. But that's where we're gonna wrap it up, I think, here at this. That is everything that I wanted to cover with you today. Kind of come back to after a pretty busy weekend here out of this, but also in the COD front, we're gearing up now for a big week ahead. So final recap, I will have gameplay here of multiplayer for Black Ops Cold War starting on Wednesday, and we're gonna be killing it with content, so you definitely do not want to miss any of that. Of course, also that nuke that was teased here with this, we don't know what that's for. but it's interesting. It seems like we're gonna get some more information over the coming days and weeks. But that's where we're gonna wrap it up. I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section down below. What do you guys think of this here? Are you looking forward to what we have in the reveal? Do you think you may know what this nuke is for? Whatever it is, let me know what you have on your mind. But anyways, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Black Ops Cold War, Warzone, Modern Warfare, all that good stuff. We got you covered here on the channel with the best of updates, news, information, tips, tricks, gameplay for Black Ops Cold War multiplayer very, very soon. So if you're interested in any of that, stick it here on the channel. If you also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected with my side on YouTube. Probably live on both those. If you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. That said, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.